Hello again, welcome back to Blackpool for more great action coming your way from the Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships. We're at the quarter-final stages of the men's event. 2 terrific matches gone, 2 more still to look forward to. With me in the studio this time, I'm delighted to say Keith Brewer, a former finalist here. Keith, this is such a fascinating time for the players because they're so close to the semi-final and the final itself. It's very tense, isn't it? Easy to fail at the final hurdle almost. Yeah,
really. You know, when you get to this stage of the tournament, you have to try and condition yourself so you can try and peak at this stage. And that's vitally important. The top players all know that.
And you also need a little bit of luck, as we've seen already. You know, you need a few breaks along the way just to help you.
Lady luck plays its part, that's for sure. I think it does in most sports, to be fair, but I think it's probably highlighted a bit more in pool.
Good form obviously helps. Let's just help you at home by reminding you what's happened so far. And there's confirmation that already Phil Harrison, the defending champion, through, just edging out Adam Davis. And of course, as we saw, Mick Hill against Gareth. That was quite a match itself, but Mick really in terrific form, especially towards the end of the session. Jason Twist against Craig Waddingham. That's the match we're talking about now. Let's have a look at what Jason has done in his progress to these quarterfinals. Jason, of course, a former champion, playing well-ish, but he's obviously done okay here, but overall not had a great year.
No, I think that's probably fair to say. He's dropped down in the rankings a little bit on the tour in that. I think in some of the major events he probably hasn't performed as well as he'd like. Still highly seeded in this event, so don't count him out because he's got a good standing here.
Hugely experienced, of course. I mean, he's sort of played most of the great players and we know what he can do because we've seen him turn matches on their head.
Absolutely, yeah. He's right, it's a form horse, that's for sure.
And what about this youngster, Craig Waddingham? What do we make of this? This is an unseeded young man, 22 years of age, sort of come, for many of us, from nowhere.
Yeah, that's right. He's playing on the tour this year, actually, and he's one of the up-and-coming players that's going to come through. This is always nice to see at these championships. We always seem to have a new player that makes the breakthrough, shall we say. But unfortunately, some of them in the past, they don't always perform, do they, on the big stage, in front of the cameras, the big table. But I believe this guy's got a very good snooker background, so this could be a different kettle of fish.
Right, so how would you see it going? It's obviously easy to say, well, the experienced Jason Twist will win this easily, but it doesn't always work out like that.
Doesn't always. But how can you count against a guy who's made 4 finals and got 2 world titles under his belt? That's what Craig's got to cope with here. But he's got good support out there. I don't see any reason why he can't put up a good show tonight.
Keith, thank you very much indeed. Right now, let's go to the action. We can join our commentators, Sean Baker and David Hendon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome your players, Jason Twist and Craig Waddingham.
Well, what a moment for Craig Waddingham, making his television debut in the quarter-finals of the World Championship against a 2-time champion. Will he freeze on the big occasion? Will he revel in it? We will find out.
Thank you.
It's first to 9. He goes
Jason
through to the
Twist
semi-finals. Jason Twist to get us underway.
Time running.
I'll tell you what, Sean, this is such a big occasion, isn't it? And such a golfing experience between the two of them as well.
This just shows what this event is all about. You know, people can come through to this event through a qualifier, and as you say, Craig is playing a 2-time world champion in Jason Twist. I mean, just absolutely masses of experience. I think he showed me his list last year where he's barely missed the TV stages in about 15 years. I think he's only once or twice, and even when he's not made it in the singles, he's actually played for the England team on those years. So he's got such massive experience.
Well, he's just 22, Craig Waddingham. He's actually won 9 matches in the championship already just to get to this stage. Just a question, I guess, of whether he can keep the nerves at bay. He did beat Carl Morris along the way, the number 8 seed.
Yeah, that was a fantastic achievement because Craig was 6-3 up in that match, and Carl just started a little bit of his legendary mind games that he usually comes out with, particularly when he gets behind. And Craig just stood there, let him get on with it, and then just got down and played his own game. And it was a fantastic performance. It was on the next table to me. I was refereeing in that match, and the atmosphere was electric, particularly when he knocked the final black in.
I guess he's just got to try and shut out who he's playing and where he's playing him. It won't be easy, but I'm sure he'll be determined to make the most of it. It's such a dream come true for him to be playing on television in the World Championship.
Yeah, we're joined in the commentary box by Mark Shepherd also. And Mark, I think you started in this event as well this year.
Yes, absolutely. Like Craig, I played in the tour qualifier for this several months back, and astonishing achievement. He won 3 matches there and then another 6 matches since there. Brilliant start.
Red ball's in play.
And it is so competitive, Mark, isn't it, at the qualifiers? So many players, hundreds of players start out in this tournament before we get down to this stage. It really is a sort of cutthroat.
Yeah, it really is, and a very good standard all round. It's very easy to think that just because you're not seeing these people on television week in, week out, that they're not the same calibre, but some of the tour players, excellent players, and very hard to beat in these events.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously you played in that qualifier, but how have you got into sort of the game, Mark, you know? What's your background?
Well, it's been a longish journey, like for most people. I started about 10 years ago when I was a student. I obviously spent too much time doing this rather than my studies for a law degree, and spending a few too many afternoons in the bar, I think.
Right, so we'll have to be careful what we say then with the law degree, otherwise we might find ourselves on the wrong end of the law here, David.
I don't think there are many pool players with law degrees, Mark.
No, it's always been something of a novelty at events. I do keep getting asked for free legal advice about these things. Sometimes not always the sort you want to be giving out. So.
I'm sure there's one or two of the tour players like that, but it's a fairly open first frame here. The Craig, you know, both had a couple of visits now. Not been easy for either player. It just looks like Jason, obviously very attacking player. He might just be having a little look at this finish. I think he's got an opportunity that we see there bottom left there's a yellow blocking his red. He might just be able to take this, the red he's closest to now, into that pocket and clear that yellow out of the way. So first real good chance here for Jason Twist.
And he'll be under pressure as well, won't he, Sean? Because in a way he's got everything to lose here. He won't know much about his opponent. He's the man with the reputation, and he's there to be shot at.
Oh, without a doubt. And I say, Keith Brewer said in the series, he's had a little bit of a lean time. Jason has on the tour recently, dropped down a little bit, and he needs to maintain obviously performance at the World Championship to maintain that ranking. Otherwise, if he sees him slip outside the top 8, then he will be back to qualifying school with like the rest of them. We were having a quick look at the rankings after the last 16 had been completed, and it looks like Carl Morris might actually have slipped out of that top 8 with that defeat to Craig Waddingham.
Seconds.
So it could be that Carl will be looking to have to qualify next year, as I say, like a lot of other people. Just had a chat with Craig before the match, and I just said, you know, what have you done since you got through in the last 16? He just said, I've been home and practiced like anything. He says, I said, just tried to relax, you know. And he said he was a little bit nervous, obviously, but he felt that, you know, he'd got as good a chance as any.
Yeah, I guess Twist, he's got to use his experience, hasn't he? He's got to use all the years that he's been playing on the tour, and I guess try and dictate what sort of match it is as well. Really keep the young man in his place, I guess.
A lovely shot there from Craig Waddingham, showing lots of confidence early on there. Just took that pocket back there from Jason Twist. Just a little bit nip and tuck here. Jason Twist, as we saw in the caption at the start of the programme, he defeated Carl Sutton in the last 16. And that was a close game, up to I think about 4 each or 5 each in that match.
30 seconds.
And Jason just got away. Previous round, last 32 against Clayton Attard from Malta. Actually refereed that game, and Jason really never got out of probably second gear, and was still too good for the Maltese player. I mean, Clayton Attard is certainly no mug with a cue, but 8-1 was a comprehensive defeat for him. Craig's just tried to obviously get one of those yellows up the table there. It's a little bit of a heavy contact, and it's not come out, so we're seeing Jason Twist go game here.
2000 and 2002 were the 2 years that Jason Twist won this title.
Just looking at the stats, he was denied that third world title in 2008 when he did make the final, but he lost to Gareth Potts. And that was a final that was always destined to change history, because no player had ever won it 3 times, and both the finalists that year had won it twice. So it was Gareth Potts who made that leap into the history books.
Well, it's Paul's version, I guess, of David versus Goliath. We know who won that one in the Bible, but here in Blackpool, it's one of the giants of the game who has gone ahead by winning the first frame. Jason Twist leads 1-0.
Fourth frame, Craig Waddingham to break.
Craig
Trailing
Waddingham
by
then
2
having won
frames
his
to
first
1.
frame,
Time running.
breaking in the fourth.
Well, I was going to say, where's the cue ball? He's managed
Open
to stay out of
table.
the pocket, so he's had a little bit of a result there, because again, all the balls spread far and wide. And had that cue ball disappeared, I'm sure Jason had been coming to the table on yellows. That's it here. He's got to find something here. No easy starting ball on either suit. Lots to play the cannon. Great shot
Yellow
there
balls
from Jason
in play.
Twist. Just shows the great players, they've got a different vision sometimes of the game, Mark.
Yes, absolutely. That didn't look a promising position. He looked at a long straight yellow, which I think a lot of people would have been tempted by, but that turned out to be a much better option.
Well, this is just not what Craig Waddingham wanted, Dave. I'll get his name out in a minute. What he wanted after securing that first frame. He didn't want to be seeing Jason Twist back at the table and him parked in his chair again.
No, that's right. When you get a bit of momentum, you want to obviously keep it going and show your opponent what you can do, but you can't do that, of course, from your seat, which is where he is now. And obviously, Twist wouldn't have been too perturbed by losing the third frame. Experience really is important in any sport, and he's been coming here for so many years, won it twice. And whatever his form has been of late, no doubt coming back to Blackpool will inspire him.
Yeah, he always certainly seems to bring his A game to these championships. And invariably he's not been knocked out because he's played badly. He's been knocked out because somebody's played very, very well against him. I don't think he was too impressed with that, though. Okay. He's asking for the cue ball to be cleaned here, because he's probably finished about 6-8 inches away from where he wanted to be. Steady hand required here from our referee, Richard Rhodes. And he's not the only. Craig Waddingham's not the only person making his TV debut in this quarter-final. This is Richard's first time on TV, but again, very experienced official. Done all the local, the county, the national scene.
Red ball's in play.
Stayed up.
Yeah, for the moment it looked like it might just drop, but it is hanging on.
Extremely close to the edge of the pocket there, and obviously if that was to drop now at any point it would just be replaced, and Craig Waddingham, if he's at the table, will continue with no penalty.
Yeah, shot one.
Showed a little bit of experience there. Just Craig Waddingham, he could have thought, well, you know, I've got my first frame on right, I'm going to have a little go at this, but he realises Jason's in control while that red is down at the bottom end of the table near to the yellow over the corner pocket. We see their bottom left.
Yeah, it was a half tempting finish for him there, but I think that's definitely the percentage option, and not that straightforward an escape. He can't just go off one cushion, and hard to get on the black even if he does manage to hit it.
30 seconds.
Foul.
I say, well, that is a big mistake there for Jason Twist. What he's tried to do is get the black over to that side of the table, but obviously he didn't want to knock the yellow in. He's cannon the red, knock the yellow in. And the beauty here, well, I'm not sure this is. Well, I'm not sure that was the right way to go about that. I thought if Craig Waddingham could have played a shot up the table, and then he'd have come back for the red that he's going to play now, he could have developed the red and the black without losing a visit, which is what he's just done.
Yeah, I think it's very tempting sometimes when you get 2 visits to try and save them both, but sometimes you've just got to be sensible and not go for something rash on the first one.
In fairness, all these reds are now out in the open. Just needs a steady hand. Just hold his nerve.
Yes, deep breaths required.
Shot there, because you can just take this now top right. He's just showing you there where he wants to leave the cue ball. Red into the left hand middle. Give him the best position. Oh, he's actually going the other way. Surprised, I thought he'd have gone the other way here, but obviously nice angle here just to draw the cue ball back down the table for the black.
Yes, Craig.
Well, it was definitely a mistake from Jason Twist. The only question was going to be whether it would cost him the frame. And it has done. What a steely clearance that was from the qualifier. So Craig Waddingham has made it all square at 2 frames all.
Six
Craig
frame.
Waddingham leads
Craig
3-2 against Jason Twist.
Leading 3 frames to 2. Yes, Craig.
That's it, Craig.
Again,
Come on, Wad. Come on,
ball
mate.
disappearing before it
Ball's
actually made it
potted.
to the pocket. Great break off there.
Red ball's in play.
2 reds disappearing to the opposite middle pockets there. Just got one slightly awkward red here, and he could look to attack this straight away. Yes, well, that is an unbelievable shot. You know, at this stage, I know it's still early in the game, but on this, in this arena, see once again.
Well, you can see, can't you, how he got this far in the tournament, winning 9 matches. It's a fearless way of playing.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we've talked about his performances here in Blackpool. But actually, his last qualifying match at Hinckley was a 7-5 defeat of Ronan McCarthy.
Yes, Craig.
One of the top players in the game. And, it just shows the standard that he played at throughout not only that qualifier but this event as well.
Come on, mate. Bring it home.
Noticeable, he's just picked the pace up as well a little bit. He's obviously feeling a lot more comfortable now.
Well, the early nerves weren't surprising. He's got over them, and in style. This is fearless stuff. from Craig Waddingham. 4 on the spin now. He leads 4-2.
Leading 5 frames to 2.
Craig
Time
Waddingham
running.
5-2. His lead over Jason Twist. 4 more frames and he will be in the semi-finals of the World Championship. Remember, this is his television debut.
A little bit unlucky there. That yellow was flying around the table.
Open table.
Would have made the corner pocket, but for the red just getting in its way on the way round. Again, the balls didn't quite seem to split as well. He maybe just miss hit that slightly. Maybe just trying to hit them a little bit too hard.
$30 seconds.
Yellow ball's in play.
And this is just what Jason Twistwell wanted here now. Opportunity. Just a little bit unfortunate. He's finished very close to this yellow. Quite a thin cut, and he's just going to play a lot of left hand side and try and avoid those 2 reds because he needs to get back across the table. I think the ball he's looking for next, Mark, is the one on the right hand side here.
Yeah, it is. I think this is a bit thin and going the wrong way for him. I think it's going to be quite hard to avoid contacting those reds. I just wanted to be a little bit
30
further away from the
seconds.
ball, and as you say, going for an alternative shot here.
Come on, wide ball's in
Made
play.
that. It was always a tough shot, particularly with the red there as well. So opportunity knocks once again for Craig Waddingham.
Well, if he gets to the final, I think his supporters might have no vocal cords left because they're really getting excited now. Come from Scunthorpe to watch him, and they're liking what they're seeing so far.
So they started off a little bit quiet, Dave, in the first couple of frames. Obviously, perhaps just feared the worst a little bit, although he hadn't done a great deal wrong. Just took maybe a couple of loose shots, you know, early match nerves. And since then, it's all been one-way traffic here in Blackpool. You know, it's very methodical, just picks the finishes off. As you say, I think you mentioned, Dave, that you don't see him rushing round. Obviously the adrenaline must be pumping at 100 mile an hour inside those veins. He just needs to keep those nerves at bay. Just a little bit of a loose shot there. A bit of a grimace. Mick Hill-like. Yet another miss from Jason Twist. It's incredible that. I've seen him miss 2-3 shots now. And a rueful smile as he returns to his seat.
Yeah, and all quite surprising misses. I mean, it's difficult on occasions to get position, but that wasn't an intrinsically difficult shot.
Yes, great. Good hit. Well, mate.
If he did win, Sean, how big a shot would it be in terms of sort of all-time shocks?
I think it'd be massive. I don't think we've ever had somebody come through the qualifiers, an unknown if you like, to come through the qualifiers to get to this stage and then to beat one of the top players in the world. Not saying he isn't capable of doing it. He's obviously done it by getting here. He's beaten Ronan McCarthy, he's beaten Carl Morris. You know, but in this TV arena, it's completely different, and I think the shock would last for quite some time inside the pool fraternity. It would give players probably some belief as well, because you hear a lot of players say, "Oh, I'm not going in that because all the big guns are in that." But I think it gives them that little bit more incentive.
Well, you can only be impressed by the way he's doing it, by the performance he's put up. He went 2-0 down, but he's won 6 on the spin. Craig Waddingham firmly in control. He leads 6-2.
Welcome back to Blackpool. Do you know, here we are on the verge of quite possibly one of the biggest upsets in the history of this event, because the unknown, unseeded qualifier from Scunthorpe, Craig Waddingham, is just about, we think, to put out the twice former world champion Jason Twist. Keith, this is quite sensational stuff, isn't it?
Well, I think when the match first started and we saw the opening couple of frames, we thought, oh, well, it's going to be the same old story. You know, Craig's probably not going to get quite there, and Jason's going to mop the balls up. And then all of a sudden, he's switched into gear and he's never looked back. And really, he's kind of on the verge of something that's really not been seen here before, and that's like an unseeded player putting out like a 2-time world champion.
And if anyone's showing the nerves now, it seems to be Jason. There were a couple of uncharacteristic errors there, and the sort of thing you wouldn't normally expect to see from him.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair comment. Jason has made 1 or 2 mistakes, but I think taking nothing away from the young man, because really when he's been at the table he's been quite good.
But this is a sensationally mature performance. He showed a few nerves early on, didn't he, in the first couple of frames, but really, Craig looks terrific.
I think it's understandable the first frame or two to not find your feet as such.
First televised performance.
That's right, and you're on the big table, the TV cameras, everything's against you. But really, once he kind of got that first frame under his belt, he's just looked the part.
So how does Jason get back into this and stop a shock defeat? He's really got to work hard now and concentrate on every shot, hasn't he?
Well, you know, it's one frame at a time from the situation when you're kind of behind, and really you've got to try and lock some of the game up when you get the chance. He hasn't had too many goes there, Jason, but I think what you've got to try and do is stop the guy from playing, knock him out of his rhythm, take your chances when they're there. It's
not over yet. Let's now go back to the action. It promises to be great stuff. Once again, here we go to the commentators.
Jason Twist to break, trailing 7 frames to 3.
So Jason Twist, by winning the 10th frame, has at least stopped the momentum from Waddingham, but he needs to keep piling in frames here and try and get back there.
Just what he needed again.
Ball potted.
Made a ball on the break. All the balls out in the open.
Yellow balls nominated.
See there, the break. Nice control on the cue ball there. You see it just checked as it came back up the table and parked itself right in the middle. Dropped it for the yellows. Well,
yellow balls in play.
Either suit there, he could have taken mark, and it's a fairly straightforward out here.
Yeah, I mean, that was the kind of break Jason was dreaming of. He just needs to get some momentum going now and string a couple together, and these yellows are absolutely perfect.
Jason Twist is nicknamed the Tornado. He's been more like a Zephyr in this match so far. He's starting to build up a little head of steam here.
How much difference a frame makes. Suddenly from nowhere he's cleared these up in 1 minute flat.
Well, has the Tornado weathered a storm? Still a lot to do, but he's going the right way about it. He's now won the last 2, and Waddingham's lead from 7-2 is reduced to 7-4. And it's not just winning frames that's important, it's winning them like that, isn't it? And keeping Waddingham in his seat.
That's it. It's exactly what he needed there. Just park Craig Waddingham in his chair Not giving him any table time at all, not even just to come and maybe just, you know, an attempted safety or anything. He's kept him there. You see there, pan out along the Jason Twist supporters. Chris Mellon in the white shirt. There's one of Jason's pals up there next to him, up from Devon, always comes up and supports. I think one or two of the England players are there. I think you just see Neil Toms sat behind. So just lending some support to the Twist camp. Been very quiet from the other side of the arena for a few minutes now.
Yes,
Waddingham to
indeed.
break, leading 7 frames to 4. Time running.
Waddingham now leads 7-4. It was 7-2. He won 7 in a row. Jason Twist on the comeback trail.
Foul.
Well, he's lost the cue ball there, and it's a bad mistake because that's not one, that's 2 visits. And again, all the balls out in the open. You see that cue ball jumps off the front of the pack.
Open table. Time running.
Across the floor and under camera too.
It's not very often you see that, but the trouble was, having been kept in his seat for a couple of frames, he just wanted to put that extra bit in to make absolutely sure he potted one, and it's gone a bit too far with it.
Yellow ball's in play.
I'm sure Jason Twist will gleefully accept any gifts that come his way during the remainder of this match, and this was surely a gift from Craig Waddingham. Wonder if Jason Twist does manage to knock this finish in, which you'd expect him to do with 2 visits, whether Craig Waddingham might just decide he'd like to take a little break, because I'm sure you'd see one of the more experienced players do that. Just say to the referee, I need a couple of minutes, and toilet break or whatever, and they just nip out and maybe just try and compose themselves a little bit. I say he hasn't got that experience yet, this young man. Still finding his way in the game of 8-ball pool. Continues developing in this way. Certain to be a big name going forward.
Well, this is exactly what Jason Twist needed when he went 7-2 down. He's won 3 frames with great authority there, and so the lead is now just 2. It's 7-5. Well, the question is, can he keep it going? He certainly looks in the mood now.
Yeah, because it was only 5 minutes ago we were talking about probably one of the biggest shocks in this game, the history of this game, the history of these championships, but just looking a little bit in doubt now. I'd say 3 quick-fire frames from Jason Twist.
Yeah, well, the script here would say that Twist will come back into it, Waddingham will wobble and Twist will win, but the only point is there isn't a script. No one knows what's going to happen, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be very interesting from here on in. 7-5 Waddingham leads, so he's still 2 from the semi-finals, but there are signs he's feeling it, and he hasn't gone out between frames. Sean suggested he might. He stayed in his seat.
Thirteenth frame, Jason Twist to break, trailing by 7 frames to 5.
Jason Twist has won 3 on the spin, so he's now just 2 behind.
A little bit unlucky there. Oh, he's got one. Oh, well.
Ball potted.
The smile there from Jason Twist, because I think as we see here on the replay, there's a couple of balls tried to make their way to the top middle pocket. That red's just tracked round out of the balk area, brushed the knuckle, and in it went.
In play.
Just this cluster in the middle of the table, I think Jason will look to get into that straight away if he can, screwing off this ball into the middle pocket.
30 seconds.
He's just been a little bit fortunate there. That yellow didn't finish closer to the pocket, blocking the red, bottom right. These last 3 frames plus this one, Craig's barely had his hand on the table. He's just got to try and remain focused. You just think, well, still got chances here. Still got at least 2 breaks in this match. If he can utilise those, they can still see him home.
Those supporters are now looking a bit sheepish, aren't they? They were in great voice earlier on, but it's all gone quiet over there. There they are, just having a little chat. Not looking too happy though.
Just a little bit fortunate there, Jason Twist. A little bit of a thicker contact on that red. He could have found himself out of position. As it is, he's still got a little bit of work to do here. We see on the overhead there, the black is just sort of not exactly tied up with the 2 yellows, but they're certainly not making it easy for him in this frame.
Going for probably the safer option here, just take this red down to the corner and then the more difficult black into the middle, but at least he's guaranteed a shot on it then.
Yeah, one thing you'll always see Jason do is play the percentage shots.
Well, at 7-2, Waddingham was running away with it. But it turned out there was a twist in the tail by the name of Jason Twist, who's now won 4 in a row, and so it's now just 7-6. And you'd have to make him favourite, even though he's behind. You'd have to make him favourite now, Sean.
Well, I think so, because if you see Craig come to the table now and not make a ball on his break, you would not bank against Jason Twist taking the finish out, because I think Jason would probably just get that little bit more adventurous there now. You know, he'd sort of say, well, you know, all the momentum's mine, I'm going to take any half chance I get here. And I'm just trying to keep that young man parked firmly in his chair. As it is, he stands and waits.
Well, he's done so well, but obviously, having got to this stage, he wants to get the victory still. He is still ahead, but as I say, he's lost 4 in a row, and Twist played well in all 4 of those frames and kept Waddingham cold.
_14 frame, Craig Waddingham to break.
So can Waddingham hold on to his lead? Can he increase it, or will Twist draw level? This is frame 14.
Foul.
That's the cue ball there, straight into that middle pocket.
Open table.
Look at disgust there at the table. I'm not sure he felt that it was the greatest split there, but that is a basic error there. Cue ball, we saw on the replay, straight into the middle pocket mark.
Yeah, you can count yourself unlucky if it gets cannoned in by something else, but he did just plant it straight in, and it's not going to be any the happier when he looks at the table and sees the finish on reds that Jason's about to attempt.
.30 seconds.
Red ball's in play.
Brave shot there from Jason Twist. It wasn't an easy opening shot there. Could have made that a lot easier, but obviously would not have afforded such a good position now as he is in this frame mark.
Yeah, I mean, I think that had to be the right shot. That one was always going to be difficult to get back on, so when he had ball in hand, it made sense to play it. But I think that was just a mark of how much he's grown in confidence over the last 3 or 4 frames.
So without a
30
doubt, I think we've
seconds.
seen one or two even experienced players may have given up the ghost a little bit. 7-2 down in this match, but as I say, not Jason Twist. He'll keep fighting to the end.
Yeah, I mean, at 7-2 we were in the territory of being embarrassed, not merely losing, but he's shown great character to come back into it. You can just see in the background there, Craig Waddingham mopping his brow, starting to look a little tense than he was a few minutes ago.
Thirty seconds.
Well, welcome to the big time. This is what can happen.
Made this finish a tiny bit harder. I think he was trying to drop on the one to the left of the black there, but you have to take the one over the corner pocket now, and then play the one to the left of the black and try and drop on the one in the middle. But he's got to judge this right. He doesn't want too much
30
angle.
seconds.
Yeah, and you always know Jason's just in a little bit of trouble when you hit the 30-second call. You don't tend to use that call particularly often when you're refereeing Jason. Frame results all about one good shot here now from Jason Twist. See, just a little grimace, just a little shake of the head, just a little nagging doubt in the back of his mind. If he's doesn't take this finish out, well, the yellow's pretty much in the open. There's one on the side rail, you can see just to the below the middle pocket. That's
30
awkward.
seconds.
Super shot there from Jason Twist. One or two appreciative comments from the crowd.
Hasn't he played well from 7-2 down when it looked like he might be humiliated? He's dug deep, he's kept Waddingham cold, and he's drawn level at 7-all.
'15th frame. Jason Twist to
So a
break.
possible 3 frames
7
remain.
frames all.
It's Jason Twist
Time
7,
running.
Craig Waddingham 7, but don't forget, Twist has won the last 5.
Once again, ball potted.
Ball potted.
Almost certainly going to be going reds here. Must be 3 yellows parked down as we see at the top of the table. There's 3 all on the side rail, 2 in pretty much no man's land, 1 on the bottom rail. See, towards the bottom left pocket. So he has potted a red. So.
Yeah, I agree. Reds look to be the colour. I think ideally he's going to take this one in baulk that he's closest to, but he's just a bit worried about running into the yellow, which could even knock it in or certainly end up out of position.
Yellow ball's nominated.
I think that's what's just affected his choice of colour there, Mark. So, had a good look at that.
Yellow ball's in play.
Yeah, that's one of those decisions you're kind of forced into. The red balls were much better, but he just couldn't really get started and was always going to have that difficult one. But as it is, he's got 3 or 4 on cushions now, so a bit of a test of queuing.
One of the greatest cueists that the game has seen over the last 15 years, 18 years, Jason Twist, ever present at these championships. An unrivaled record appearing in the TV stages of this event. He's having to draw on all of that experience tonight here at the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool.
It's such a difference to have done it before, because from his point of view, it's like playing at his local club. He's been out in front of this crowd so many times, whereas Craig, now things are getting difficult, is bound to be embarrassed about how things are going.
Time running.
Obviously, needing to remove this yellow, so that the one that he's got the rest closest to now has to go into that corner pocket. So it's going to be a real test of queuing here for Jason Twist.
Played that nicely though. Got this one in the middle, screw back for the choice of these two yellows along the cushion. Probably the one up into baulk first, and the one down this end, and then a straight black.
Well, straight away you heard an expression from Jason
Red
Twist.
ball's in play.
Realised he'd missed by quite some distance there.
It's the first real mistake he's made for some time in the match.
And in fairness, but you look at the position where the cue ball's finished, I'm not quite sure he was playing anyway. Whether he's going to be looking to take the double next into the right-hand middle. But opportunity now for Craig.
Yeah, that was surprising. I thought he could put that one in the middle, but the fact he took it in the corner suggested he couldn't. So it is. Craig's made that difficult. He's trying to drop on that one along the top cushion.
He was probably just trying to develop that red. It's the top end of the table. It won't go to the top left corner pocket.
So hard to be positive in this situation, but if you'd said to Craig on his way into the arena, we'll give you 7-all, he'd have jumped at the chance, and I think that's the way he's got to look at it.
Yeah, no doubt. And I wonder now if Jason Twist isn't going to have a go at this. I think he's left in the double here that Jason Twist will have a go at. His thing is, with that red in the baulk area that's still blocked, as we see top right, by that yellow, he's just giving himself a little bit of an insurance policy.
30 seconds.
Well, opted not to go for the double, just move the yellow out into a potable position. And he's got all his yellows in that top half of the table. He's keeping all his work close together.
Yeah, I think possibly the double wasn't quite there. I can see what he's doing, but I think it's a bit bold to have left the white in the middle of the table like this, because there are a couple of shots, possibly off this one or the next one, Craig could drop behind the difficult red.
Nice shot, Craig.
All of a sudden the supporters have found the voices again, Dave.
Yes, they've been silent, haven't they, for 5 frames or so, but suddenly waking up now and wondering if, after all, if their man might be able to pull off a huge shot. It would still be a shock if it was a close result. Just winning on his television debut would be a surprise.
Well, he's had 2 goals at that same shot now, coming in behind it. As you say, Mark, really he had a chance maybe just to try and get in just behind it, drop dead weight behind it and take it into the top right corner pocket.
Yeah, I think a bit of inexperience there. It's very tempting if you're playing in a club or an exhibition to try and knock it out and it looks better, but I don't really think that was the percentage chance. He could have skimmed off it and still not left it on. As it is, though, quite fortunate. He's left a... well, he's played a safety, but he left himself nicely on that one at the bottom.
I'm not sure he's got the snooker here. I think Jason can see the one at the top of the table there, just to the right of the top middle pocket. The referee, I think, has been asked whether it's a total snooker. And I think we might just see him produce an extra cue ball here. See, this is an awkward one, because what you've got to assess is, can he hit the ball before he hits the cushion? Because in the case of a total snooker, the cushion does count. So if it contacts in the cushion before it contacts the object ball,
Time running.
it would be a total snooker, and that's what's been given by our referee Richard Rhodes.
Thirty seconds.
Super shot there from Jason Twist. He's just given Craig Waddingham half a chance here. He's given him a shot at doubling that red back across the table into the bottom right hand corner pocket as we look on the overhead.
Yeah, difficult decision this. I think that probably is the right shot to go for that. There's half a chance of playing another safety shot, but he's on this double so perfectly.
Well, he's missed it, and is he going to knock the yellow in? Well, he hasn't done it. It wouldn't have been that bad of a result. So, a little bit of nerves and tension starting to creep into this match. It's best of 3 for a place in the semi-finals of the Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships. Good shot there from Jason. Just didn't try and play the plant direct. Came off the cushion just to flick it to make sure he left the other yellow in there.
Well, this has been a nervier frame than the previous few that he won. But if he does pop the 8-ball here, he'll be in front for the first time since he led 2-1. It's 6 in a row from Jason Twist. He's ahead now, 8-7. One more, and he's in the semi-finals.
You see that, I think he's just explained to one of his supporters there where he's enjoying the experience maybe. He just needs one good break-off shot in this next frame if he's going to have any hope of remaining in these championships.
Well, it's been a memorable TV debut for him, whatever happens, but having led 7-2, of course, he would have hoped to be able to convert it to victory. Still might win, but he's got to win the last 2 frames. This match has completely turned round. The more experienced man is now on top. Jason Twist ahead 8-7. Waddingham raring to get on with it. He's going to be breaking in this frame. My word, he needs a good break. Just keep Jason Twist away from the table.
16th frame. Craig Waddingham to break. Trailing by 8 frames to 7.
His last couple of breaks have not been much good. Let's see how he gets on here. He's trailing 8-7. He's Craig Waddingham. Twist needs one more for a place in the semis.
Guess what that was? Come on, all potted. Come on.
Great break off shot. You see the replay from the overhead. Nice control on the cue ball, parks it right in the middle of the table, gets the ball bottom left.
Red ball's in play.
If ever he wanted to make a ball on the break, this has got to be it. 8-7 down to Jason Twist in the World Quarter-Finals.
Couldn't have asked for a better break there. That was absolutely what he wanted to see. And earlier on in the match, he was knocking these in for fun.
Yes, I bet he couldn't have imagined this when he started out in his very first qualifying match. Chance to make it 8-all and take us all the way.
No, it's a very long road from those early qualifiers. I think you enter them more in hope than expectation, but fantastic story to everyone to see how far he's come and to watch him on television.
Probably about 150 miles from here to Hinkley Island where Craig qualified, but it's absolutely light years away in terms of the pool world, how far he's come this evening with this performance. Fantastic achievement no matter what happens in the next frame and a half. If it goes that far, this is a name that we could be hearing for a few years to come. Fantastic shot there.
Still cueing really well. I mean, that was a difficult shot. He got into that really nicely. Slightly too much angle now on this red. He ideally just wanted to drop this in the middle and have a tap in. I think he may have to go up and down the table or else play it very slowly.
The other option he's looking at is taking the cue ball round the angles here. Let's take the one nearest to the pocket. He's got to avoid all those yellows. You see he's just pointing now
50 seconds.
to the path of that cue ball.
Yeah, not a bad option this. Yeah, and he's This carries on, he's played this well.
He's giving himself a shot. Middle pocket.
You can probably cut that in the middle pocket, but if not, quite a simple double, knock it in, and then you've got the black either in the corner or the middle.
Yeah, I think the cut in the middle of the shot just drops it in. Cue ball goes behind the black and the black into the other. Well, I'm surprised he's hit it that hard. I thought he could have just dropped that in. What a confident shot that was.
Amazing, he's done it, he's made it 8-all, and we're going all the way. This quarter-final is going to rest on the deciding frame.
Final frame. Jason Twist to break.
So this pulsating
Time
quarter-final has come down to a deciding frame finish. Jason Twist to break, 8-all with Craig Waddingham.
Well, balls potted everywhere.
Ball's potted.
Gone everywhere. Neither suit looks ideal. As you see once again the break-off shot. I've seen a couple of reds potted there. Cue balls flown around the town. Interesting, all the balls there just in the bottom half of the table as we were looking on the overhead. And one or two blocking other balls off. Probably look to go yellows here.
30 seconds.
Yellow ball's in play.
It was mainly because of that area that he went yellows there, because that red was tied up with the two yellows. The red just above the right hand middle pocket. It was fairly close to the rail. That was awkward. There's a fantastic long pot there from Jason Twist, Mark.
Absolutely, holding it together well, although if this putt was a little bit straighter than he wanted to. The ultimate plan is to get down the bottom end of the table and play the yellow off the red to open up the bottom right hand pocket.
Yeah, I think he's just got a little bit of an angle on this yellow on the side rail, on the top rail, right? Just looks there, we see the shadow that just looks like it's off, and we definitely see on the overhead it is, so.
Yeah, and as it happens, it probably doesn't matter so much. He can always play the one in the middle pocket, so he doesn't need to get too close to it.
Destiny of the place and the semi-finals could rest on that shot that Jason Twist will take. Probably not the next shot, the shot after that, when he disturbs that red over the bottom right hand corner pocket. And just where that red finishes, will the pocket be freed up for the yellows?
Dropped nicely behind it to play this shot. Just got to be a little bit careful. I think you might want to play it cushion first, cushion red pocket, otherwise the danger of just covering the pocket with the yellow.
Yeah, he's just having a quick look there to see. Studied right over the ball there just to make sure, check the gap. It's just a little bit awkward cueing there. He's quite close to that, the red ball.
30 seconds.
It's near to the side rail. You see there his hand just edging towards it. Well, he's covered the pocket, so it's okay.
And what does Craig do here? One option would be to cut the red over the pocket that the black's nearest, and hope that he hangs it over, which I think he probably will, given how thin it is. But he's going to have to play this with some pace.
And one thing about that, if he does play that shot, he's certainly disturbed the other red out of that area. Opting just to play the safest shot we've seen him play.
Yeah, very mature approach, bearing in mind what his mind must be like at the moment. I've been very impressed with him though. His general attitude has been superb. He's been fearless, and okay, he lost all those frames in a row, but he didn't throw in the towel. He's still not throwing in the towel, and this match is in the balance.
I mean, this should be a fairly straightforward escape here for Jason Twist.
30 seconds.
As we see there, good hit by Twist, and I think that was always the trouble really, Sean. The way he played that, Jason was always going to get out of it, so he wasn't going to have the 2 shots, and now he's left to effectively play the same shot again.
Yeah. The danger is that he doesn't quite get it right, or Jason Twist, he can get the other side of the black now.
Total
And
snooker.
he's just got half a chance that he makes the right contact on the yellow and he knocks it in the middle. And the game could be over.
And even if he doesn't, the trouble for Craig is he's not really developing anything here. Jason's going to keep coming out and hitting these yellows, and at some point he's got to do something, which I think is going to involve trying to cover the pocket near the black.
Nearly made it. He nearly made it. And had that gone in, Jason Twist would have had 3 simple roll-ins for a place in that semi-final. Slightly rueful smile as he returns to his seat.
Yeah, superb effort, and as you called it, Sean, that shot was always on. And it's like Craig might be trying the same shot for a 3rd time.
Far better attempt there from
Touching ball.
Craig Waddingham. You see it's touching the red. Didn't actually have to call that, the referee, because it's not touching his own colour, but he's probably done that just for the benefit of everybody, to ensure that if that red just did happen to move, if he played away from it completely and the red moved, you think, well, he's hit the red there. He hasn't. What it had done is the red would have just settled with the cue ball moving away from it.
30 seconds.
So, yeah, enough for the technical side of the game. Jason Twist has got to find the escape here. Super shot there, Nagare from Jason Twist. And what he's done now is he's put the distance between the cue ball and that little hidey hole that Craig Waddingham had come up with for the cue ball. We're going to have to see a slightly different approach now from Craig Waddingham. Again, fairly straightforward escape here. See Jason Twist just looking to see if he could squeeze between the cushion and the red, play it with pace and get that yellow out of there. I think the gap's there.
Yeah, and from Jason's point of view, in fact, can he even see? Can you see this?
See the other one.
Well, that's a bad mistake from Craig to have left that shot on. I think this quite doubles now, but completely handed control back to Jason.
It's just a question of getting this yellow ball out in the middle of the table here now for Jason Twist and heap all the pressure on the young man. The qualifier, Craig Waddingham.
30 seconds.
It's not a bad shot there from Jason Twist. He's made sure that he finished above that red, so Craig hasn't really got a shot of trying to get in behind it.
No, he's asked the question of Craig here, and it's not easy. There's a couple of possible safety shots, but it's hard to get it safe from both yellows.
Thirty seconds.
Looking to drop the red down the table. No, he isn't. You say he's looking to cover that pocket, and I think he hasn't. Great shot there for Craig Waddingham. Finally covered that pocket. We talked about that about 3 or 4 minutes ago, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he seemed to have several better opportunities to do it, but he's played a fantastic shot there. That was the only real way you could see him getting out of this position.
Well, it's a really exciting finish to a really exciting match, and the young man, the qualifier, still with a chance to go through. Whatever happens, we'll certainly remember his television debut, and we'll remember him.
Foul.
Well, interesting. Jason's elected to play the tactical foul here. I mean, what he's done is played a very clever shot, though, because he's blocked off Craig's path into the 2 reds that are over towards the bottom right-hand corner of the pocket. And Craig's got the one that's tucked on the side rail just above the right hand middle pocket, and there's one in the balk area, so left to a thin snip maybe on this, and he's missed that by quite a way.
Yeah, it wasn't
Second
easy,
visit.
but he was desperate to try and keep the 2 visits there as he needed to develop the 2 difficult ones.
What he can actually do here now is just drop on this red. He got the snooker. Has he got it though? Can Jason Twist just get past that red?
Total snooker.
The yellow, no. Well, that's confirmed by a referee that he can't. Final frame here, full of drama.
Yeah, and I think Jason doesn't really want to move the yellow. I mean, there are options. He could potentially swerve around this and pot the yellow, but he doesn't really want to open that
30
pocket up.
seconds.
It's not going to leave good position on the other one.
No, he might have been doing that down the local club in an exhibition, but not here. He's got to look to just make contact on that yellow and not give the 2 visits away. And he's missed it.
Fouled.
Not only has he missed
2
it, but
visits.
he's left a nice angle here. Craig can pot this red in the pocket nearest the back and drop in behind the difficult one.
I think Jason Twist might just still be favourite in this frame. He's looking to move both these reds. He has done. He's hit the yellow instead. Oh, look at that! He's fluked the red into the middle pocket. Well, he's retained the 2 visits. The hand went up to Jason Twist, but that will be no consolation to the man from Devon.
No, that's an extraordinary fluke. 2 in 1 really, not to pot the yellow, but easy result, and to pot the red as well.
Well, these supporters are louder than ever, and you can understand it. What a moment this could be.
Yes,
9 matches he won, remember, just to get this far. Television debut.
Still has the 2 visits in hand. Well, he's looking to just use one of those.
Second visit.
Well, what a story, what a television debut, what a world championship for Craig Waddingham, and what a victory over Jason Twist. He led 7-2, Twist came back at him. We thought the experienced man, the twice champion, would go through, but Craig Waddingham has won the last 2 frames, and he is into the semi-finals of the World Championship, a winner by 9 frames to 8.
Well, that really is quite astonishing. I can't believe there's ever been a more sensational upset in this championships in the history of the event. I mean, this completely unknown, unseeded young man from Scunthorpe has beaten the 2 times former world champion. Having almost at one stage lost it, he's now won it at the death.
It's not often we get a match that's this exciting, is it really? And a game of 2 halves, if you like, because the first half of the match, of course, Craig's bombed ahead, and he looks like he's just going to run away with a match when
And
he's
at
gone
7-2, it looked all over.
Yeah, and then to Jason's credit, what a comeback from him, really. To go 8-7 up from that was quite an incredible comeback. And then, when you think that Craig's got nothing else to offer, he breaks and dishes, takes it to 8-all, and then what an exciting last frame. The game that had everything, really.
And you'd never know to watch him play that this was his TV debut. This young man's never played in front of cameras before.
No, that's right. He's played very well. He's played in a fearless way. He's shown a lot of knowledge of the game, particularly in the last game there, because his back was really against the wall, Dave. And I said to you, he's playing all the right shots here. He's playing all the little snookers, all the shots that I know I would have played if I'd have been there. And I'll tell you what, thumbs up to him. He played all the right shots and he played exceedingly well. He's worked for his opening. He's got 1 chance and he's cleared up, albeit he's had a lot of luck there with the little fluke. but he's still cleared up.
But he was getting your seal of approval for the clever way that he managed those last few frames, because he was playing the right shots at the right time.
You know, it's easy with the pressure of the situation. It's easy to choose the right shots, play the shots, and then play the shots wrongly. He did everything right. He's picked the shots, he's played the shots, and he's played all the shots correctly.
So am I right then in saying this has to be one of the biggest upsets, if not the biggest, in the history of the event?
I was thinking about this before, as we said before, Dave. I've been really, rumming my brain to think, has there been a bigger one? At the World Championships, I don't think there has.
No.
Not for someone who we consider totally unknown to make it through to the TV stage and then put out a world champion.
And on the evidence of that, who's to say he can't go further, because he's shown no real nerves.
To make it to the quarterfinals in this tournament, believe me, you've got to be good. You've got to have the X factor, if you like, and I think he's shown it there. For a young lad, that's like old head on the young shoulders. He's played with a bit of maturity there, to be fair. Took his chances very well when he's had them. So you've got to give the lad a bit of credit, but he's going to have a very tough match in his semi-final, no matter who it is. Right,
let's just confirm for the folks at home what the matches now look like. There's the 3 results so far. Jason Twist, what a match it's been against Craig Waddingham. The unseeded, unknown player from really nowhere has put out Jason Twist in sensational style, and as we've just heard from Keith, he's now got to go on to meet the winner of Gareth Potts against Lee Clough. What a match that promises to be. That is our 4th quarter-final we've still to enjoy. You'll see that next time. In the meantime, from all of us here, don't miss that. We'll see you next time. Bye for